You see, you start one video and then it just snowballs, doesn't it? You start thinking other things and another video comes. Anyways, this is what I'm referring to is the video about asking the right question and the quality of questions and the answers they lead to. Now, when it comes to the ultimate question, I think maybe that's the reason why every philosophical school of thought, whether they be metaphysical or whatever, all preached one thing. I think many things they had in common, but one thing in particular was know thyself. Now, the importance of this is I think even the purpose of why we're here to many degrees. Why I say that? Well, let's go to the reverse. Many of the issues and problems we have psychologically as a people, as a race, or individually, comes from the schism of this unified thinking, this singular thought, and then we just separate everything into good and bad, and light and dark, and so on and so forth. And this goes for the person, the individual themselves, of who they are. Like we separate who we are from what we're being, like the actual being that we are, and we try to start separating ourselves and categorizing ourselves. And believe me, I've done many. I still do it. I've done many of it, a lot of it in my time. I mean, I've been many people, and I've had huge changes into who I was. So if someone had known me in my early 20s and knows me now, I'm nothing at all close to that. Like, huge changes. And in that, I guess I learned, we'll talk about that another day because it's kind of important. One thing I'd learned was you give yourself this checklist of who you are. You know, a lot of times it starts with your interests. And if you notice, even today I still do it. I meet someone, and within the first half hour or so, I feel the need to make sure that they know who I am, where I come from, meaning like where I come from philosophically. So I'll find the opportunity to stick some, name drop, kind of put yourself on the map. This is who I am. This is who you're talking to. But it really isn't. By any means, it's not who we are. And then you find people that really don't question this start having more and more problems psychologically. And I started seeing it with myself. You start losing this attachment to who you think you are, and you're trying to, there's this inner voice kind of telling you, hey, this isn't you, and they're calling you on your shit, but you try to ignore it. So you start to procrastinate, or you pick up addictions, and so on and so forth, to avoid the fact that you're not listening to the fact that that's not you. All right, so and this is a complicated thing. It's not very black and white, but it is. Like if you sit there in silence, which is the one major key to meditation. One of the major benefits of meditation is in that moment of silence, you start to, separate yourself from all these thoughts, and you come to this realization that you're an more expanded form of consciousness than you've ever considered, and all of a sudden you need to consider what that is. That's the know thyself part. That comes from there, like that moment of realization. You have to start questioning, am I my information that I've gathered over the years? Am I my car? Am I my nationality? Am I all these things? It's kind of crazy, because then things start to fall apart in your life, I guess. And you start having to put them all back together, and you don't know where the pieces fit anymore because you've attached yourself to all these little things. So that's why the original question you ask is very, very important, because if your question is based on a truth of some sort, whether it's know thyself or what's going on in this world, or all these types of things we can consider, they all come from the same sort of thought, the same essence. And to me, it's really know thyself. We tend to gravitate to others who have similar beliefs, and this is good, it's fine, as long as we've asked the right question, because you might start gravitating to people that fit in the same cultural group as you, or they listen to the same music or watch the same movies. But if you haven't considered, is this going to lead me to me? Like, is this going to lead me to figuring out who I am and all that stuff? Well, then it's just going to it's going to snowball, and it's going to create a prison of sorts. And this is a little bit of me veering off, but it does relate. It's like I find myself when I'm in the presence of someone that's known me or thinks they know me from back in the day, a family member or an old friend or whatever. you start to behave like you used to. Like you get over certain issues, or you think you do, and then instantly, boom, you fall back into this like this old way of being, and like the old programming gets pops up, and I watch myself sometimes around the dinner tables when I'm doing this, and I'm just like, dude, like you don't do this anymore. You're over this. This is not who you are. But you're watching yourself from afar, just being this person you once were. Now, there's many factors as to why this is. I mean, we could take it from many different angles. You could be like, it's memory. You're going back into there, and then it's tapping into parts of your subconscious mind that's old programming that still exists, and boom, it pops up. Or we can go into the idea of morphic resonance and information being in a field, and when you're in the presence of someone else that has a thought of who you are and how you are, your mind is far extends your skull, and you pick up on this information, and you resort back to old patterns. Yeah, I realize I said a lot there, and I will be fleshing them out in further videos as to exactly what that means if you're not aware of the concept of morphic resonance, or how memory can work in the subconscious and such. But anyways, yeah, I thought I'd drop that little bit of philosophical ramblings, I guess. Anyways, yeah, I'm working through the stuff out myself, so a lot of this helps when I just put it on camera. It's kind of like bing bing. Yeah, that's what I think means stop talking. But anyways, yeah. So a lot of this is me talking to me. So thanks for listening to my inner thoughts. Those are my 2 cents. Bye bye.